Today you will learn how to write a block business letter. At the top, as usual, we are going to click on no spacing. To begin our letter, we need to have a 2-inch top margin. The reason why we need a 2-inch top margin is for most business letters, there is usually a logo or some kind of business information on the top of the page. What we're going to do is we're going to go to the Page Layout tab. We're going to click on the Margins icon. We're going to go to the bottom of the list and click on Custom Margins. It's already defaulted where we need to put our number, so we just need to key in the number 2. We're going to click OK, and now you'll see that the cursor has now moved or shifted down. I'm just going to move our bar down here. Okay, we are going to begin with our our return address, and our return address will be wherever we are writing a letter from. So if maybe our return address would be our house, or if we're at work, the return address would be the work's address. So we're going to use 1225 4th Street, and you have to spell it out, F-O-U-R-T-H, Street. So we're going to pretend that we're just going to write a letter from here. And that is Beloit, Wisconsin, 53511. Now, when you are writing a letter, you need to capitalize in the correct places. Notice that the F is capitalized on 4th, and the S is capitalized for the abbreviation street. B is capitalized for Beloit. W and I are both abbreviated for Wisconsin. Once we get to this point, we're going to enter, and we are going to put today's date, whatever today's date may be, and you're going to spell it out. And for me, today is January 20th. And you'll notice as you're writing, you may see a pop-up that gives you the date. If you get that pop-up, you can go ahead and click enter, or just push the enter key, and it'll automatically fill it in. Once you have the return address finished and the current date, what I'm going to have you do is make sure that you're on the Home tab. And toward the middle of our ribbon in the paragraph area, in this upper right here, you're going to click on this paragraph marker. And what this paragraph marker does, it's going to be a guide for us. It's going to help us figure out our correct spacing. For a business letter, we need to have correct spacing. So with our cursor at the end of our date, we are going to enter 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Once we do that, we are now going to key in our mailing address. Now our mailing address is whoever we're writing this letter to. It can be a person, a business, or whatever it may be. So let's go ahead, and I'm just going to put Burger King. Now, we don't know who the person is that we would actually write the letter to. If we did know the person's name, we would put that in there, but we don't. And I'm not really sure of the address, so how about we just do 1200 4th Street. That's Beloit, Wisconsin, 53511. Again, watch for your capitalization. The B in Burger King should be capitalized. The K should be capitalized. The F in 4th, the S, and the B, WI. Check that out. We do not use all lowercase letters when we write letters. This is a business letter. It needs to be professional. Once we are done with our mailing address, we are going to enter 2 times. We're going to put our salutation. This is where you'd put dear whoever the person's name is. Or since we don't know who the person is at Burger King, we could put to whom it may concern. That's just a way to say, you know, well, whoever can answer this letter for us. We're going to enter 2 times. And now we're to the body of our letter. I'm going to write, I like your food. You can write what you want. Also, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my shift key, and I'm going to use a capital W, and I'm going to spacebar, capital W, spacebar, capital. Okay, and what I'm doing here, I'm just making a pretend paragraph instead of us keying in a whole paragraph. Now, if we had more than one paragraph, which we're going to pretend we do, we're going to enter 2 times, and then we would continue on with whatever it is we were talking about. So that I'm going to pretend that we have 2 paragraphs here. Those W's indicate a pretend paragraph. Once we are finished with our paragraphs, you are going to enter 2 times. At this point, we are going to put in our complementary close. Sincerely is usually what you would use. Sincerely. Once you have done that, you need to enter 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. At this point, you are going to put your first and last name. Not my name, put your last name. The reason why you have this huge gap between sincerely and your name is that when it's printed, the person who wrote this can sign their name here. Now what I want to do is I want to go back up. I'm going to make this a little smaller so you can kind of see. Mine's small. You don't have to make yours small. I just want you to see this. Now we still have our 2-inch top margin. See, it looks pretty big. And what I want you to look at is the spacing. Notice here after the date, you have 3 spaces. The only other place that you have more than 1 space in between information is down at the bottom after sincerely and before your name. Those are the only 2 places that will have more than 1 space. So you're going to have 3 at the top, 3 at the bottom. All other places have 1 space. Notice that, just 1. 1 paragraph marker indicates 1 space. If we took the paragraph markers off, it looks like this. But if you key in the letter without your paragraph markers, you might get your spacing wrong. So just use your paragraph markers to help as a guide. Now we did this letter as a business letter to a company. Let's say, for instance, we were writing a letter to a person. Let's go ahead and highlight the word Burger King. And why don't you just put your friend's name in? Put the secretary's name in for me. But you can put your friend's name put your friend's name in. Now, you would not, for your salutation, you would not keep this as to whom it may concern, because we already know who the letter is being written to. So we're going to highlight that, and we are going to put Dear Edmonds, or Dear whoever your friend is. And then the rest would stay the same. So just pay attention to, because you will have to write a business letter to a company, so you would have the company's name, to whom it may concern, and you will have to write a letter to a person. So just remember, you have to have the person's name and Dear, and then whatever the person's name is. You need to remember the difference. If you're writing to a person, you cannot have to whom it may concern. It makes absolutely no sense, because you already have the person that you know. So once again, make sure you're using those paragraph markers.